Well, as Cubans continue to protest here and around the country, they're hoping it will bring about change there.
But the question everybody's asking is, really, will it? Fox 13's Ken Suarez spoke with a well-known local historian and author who lived under the regime for years.
Years of underlying frustration and anger are finally hitting the streets, demanding that the Cuban government make changes. Teresa Martinez says it's long overdue.
It's about time that the people went out in the street and protested about what's going on.
Martinez publishes the magazine Viva Polk, hosted a TV show,
one of the poorest countries in Latin America,
and produced a documentary, Success in Exile. She knows firsthand about government repression. Fidel Castro took over when she was about 5 years old. Her dad, Dr. Luis Vasquez, was a well-to-do pediatrician, had a thriving practice, home, beach house, and farm.
Everything belonged to the government.
Everything he had worked for taken away in an instant.
All my property. My checking account, saving account, in zero.
For 60-plus years, Cubans either stayed and fell into line or waited years to get the okay to leave. But they didn't protest like this. Something has changed.
They are not afraid anymore. Fear is gone.
They're hoping for relief from somewhere, their government or another one. Now, you might think that change should come from within Cuba, but Martinez says that's a lot easier said than done.
Rebelling in Cuba is very difficult because there are no weapons. Okay, since 1960, when Castro took over in 1951, 1960, he said, "Armas para qué? Why do we need weapons?"
Martinez thinks it's unlikely that the U.S. military will step in. She suspects that the Cuban government won't make major changes. Still, she says, the protests are a ray of hope.
This is a good first step.
A step that the Cuban people have been too intimidated to take until now. In Lakeland, Ken Suarez, Fox 13 News.